Hey YouTube, this is Cardfight. I'm going to do a rather quick deck profile here of Nectar. I would go through the triggers, but there's only one of each and that's all you can do. So 4 of each trigger, there being 1 of each, so yeah. 4 crit, 4 stand, 4 draw, 4 heal. And the only starting Vanguard. Onto the grade 1s. For Dragon, for Perfect Guard, then we have for Lady of the Sunlit Forest. I tend to really like cards like this, 7Ks that can discard and draw. They really help with the deck consistency. And then it might seem odd, but only 2 genes are Blade Seed Squire. I'm only running 2 because this card is not as great as it first sounds. Once you sit down and play test with him, you realize he's not amazing. You definitely don't want to play very many of him. He's you can use the grade 0 to level up to him, but that almost never happens. Basically, the grade 0's job is just to boost the Vanguard. But early game, he's a pretty good card to drop. Like if you're going to drop him so that you can attack the opponent's Vanguard with him, he's pretty decent since he can swap out for a grade 2 and get you an interceptor onto the field. As well as 9K, but he shouldn't be overestimated. Into the grade 2s. For Iris Knight, 10K vanilla. 3 Glass Beads Dragon. When it hits, counterblast 2 and draw. Something the opponent needs to guard, and when they don't, you just get that +1 off. Especially if they're focusing on not letting your Vanguard hit, so you can't Persona Blast. Then we have 2 Knight Jean. Jean, just like the grade 1, it's a pretty good card. The opponent tries to block it most of the time, but his effect is not that relevant. Mostly he's in here for when the grade 1 can level up to him, and he can go off to level up to another card, but again, I don't think the Gene line should be really overestimated. They're okay, but not that great. And then last 2 Hey Yo Pineapple, so you can swing for 11. This deck doesn't usually tend to have trouble filling up the field, but. And then grade 3s. We got 4 Maiden of the Trailing Rose, very good. Her Persona Blast usually goes off, like I would say like 60-70% of the games you play, you'll actually Persona Blast with her. Early game, once you get to late game, she's not so great. They're not going to be letting her hit anyway, but usually like mid game, early late game, she'll go off. She goes off pretty consistently. She's a good card. And she's 11K, so she's hard to hit. Then we have more Laurel, good card. It's a 12K, can with an 8 hit 20, or just attack an 11K with no boost. And then we have 1 Knight of Harvest Gene. Again, like I said, the Gene line can be overestimated. It's still a pretty good card. The opponent usually guards him because they don't want you to get 2 interceptors out of it. But yeah, it's a decent card, but shouldn't be overestimated. I tend to prefer the power of Laurel over his effect. And that's it. Thank you for watching.